Let's talk about something uncomfortable, not dramatic and not motivational. Poster energy, just real. If you feel like no matter how hard you work, you're still stuck financially, it's probably not just inflation. It's probably not just the economy, and it's definitely not just bad luck. There are money mistakes that quietly keep people broke for years, and most of them they feel normal. That's the dangerous part. They don't feel like mistakes. They feel like this is just how life works. So let's walk through the habits that drain you slowly because staying broke rarely happens overnight. It happens through small, repeated decisions that seem harmless in the moment. The first mistake is confusing income with wealth. A lot of people chase higher income thinking that that's the solution. If I just make more, everything will change. But income and wealth are not the same thing. Income is what, comes in, and wealth is what stays. You can make 40,000 a year and build stability, and you can make 140,000 a year and still be stressed every month. If your lifestyle expands exactly as fast as your income, you've just upgraded your bills, not your life. And that's lifestyle creep, and it's subtle. You get a raise, you upgrade your car, you move to a slightly nicer place, you eat out more because you earned it. And suddenly your higher paycheck, it feels exactly like your old paycheck. Nothing's changed except the size of your expenses. The second mistake is financing everything. Payment feels small. That's why they're seductive. It's only a $38 a month. It's just $220 a month. Stack 5 or 6 of those, and suddenly your future income is already spoken for before you even earn it. And when most of your money is committed to payments, you don't have flexibility, and flexibility is power. Debt itself isn't always evil, though, but normalizing constant payments is dangerous. You lose margin, and without margin, every emergency becomes a crisis, which leads to the third mistake. Not having an emergency fund. If you don't have cash reserves, life will put you on a credit card, car repair, credit card, medical bill, credit card, job loss, credit card. Now you're paying interest on survival, and interest compounds in the wrong direction when you owe it. An emergency fund isn't exciting. It's not Instagram worthy, but it's different. Between inconvenience and disaster, and that brings me to the fourth mistake. Keeping people broke is ignoring small recurring expenses, subscriptions, delivery ads, app charges, automatic renewals, individually that don't look like much, but monthly leaks sink ships. When money leaves silently, you stop respecting it. Awareness alone can change the behavior too. Most people don't realize how much they're spending because they don't look. Another major mistake too is not knowing your actual numbers. Not guessing, not estimating, knowing. How much do you spend per month? And how much do you owe? What's your interest rate and what's your net worth? Avoidance feels safer than clarity, but avoidance is expensive. You cannot fix what you refuse to measure. Then there's the habits of spending to cope, stress, shopping, boredom shopping, celebration shopping. If buying something is your primary dopamine hit, your finances will always be emotional. And emotional spending ignores math. And the hard truth is that discipline isn't about restriction either. It's about control. If your mood controls your wallet, you'll stay broke no matter how much you earn. So let's talk about cars. This one hurts. Cars are one of the fastest ways to delay financial progress. Not because cars are bad, but because people overspend on them. A car payment that stretches you thin steals investing years from your future. And depreciating assets shouldn't dominate your monthly cash flow. Reliable and paid off beats impressive and financed almost every time. Another mistake, not investing early because you think you need a lot to start. Time matters more than the amount. Compound growth is slow at first and dramatic later. And waiting for the perfect time often means missing, the powerful years. Perfect time, it just never seems to happen. And when small investments grow the most, even the modest, consistent investing builds momentum. The key is starting before you feel ready. And here's a sneaky one. Surrounding yourself with people who normalize being broke. Environment shapes expectations. If everyone around you treats debt like it's inevitable, overspending like it's harmless, and financial stress like it's permanent, you'll unconsciously absorb that mindset. Normal matters. If broke is normal, broke becomes acceptable. Another trap is chasing quick money instead of building stable money. Side hustles are great and opportunities are great, but constantly jumping from one big break idea to another without building skills or consistency keeps you unstable. And wealth usually grows slowly and predictably. Get rich quick thinking often, keeps people stuck longer than steady habits would, ever. So let's address credit cards clearly. Credit cards themselves are tools, but carrying balances monthly after month with high interest is financial quicksand. When you pay 20% interest, your money works against you. Eliminating a high interest debt is often one of the highest guaranteed returns you can get. Another mistake that keeps people broke is not negotiating salary, rent, insurance, or bills. Many costs are flexible, but only if you ask. People assume prices are fixed because asking feels uncomfortable. Silence is expensive. A 5-minute conversation can save thousands over time. Then there's the habit of upgrading everything immediately: a new phone every year, a new wardrobe constantly, renovating things that don't need renovation, consumption disguised as progress. And then sometimes staying financially stable means keeping things that still work. And here's a mindset issue that matters: believing you deserve every comfort right now. You probably do deserve comfort, okay? But there's a difference between comfort and overextension. Delaying upgrades builds strength, and immediate gratification builds pressure. Another huge mistake is relying on one income stream without building skills that increase earning power. Job security isn't guaranteed. Developing additional skills, even slowly, creates leverage. It doesn't mean working 24/7. It means increasing options. And let's talk about taxes. Not understanding the basic tax strategy can cost you. Contributing to retirement accounts, understanding deductions, and planning ahead instead of scrambling in April, these things, they compound too. Ignorance in this area often costs more than people realize. And there's also the mistake, of confusing with deprivation. Being smart with money doesn't mean never enjoying it. It means spending intentionally, cutting what doesn't matter so you can afford what does. And random spending keeps you broke. Purposeful, though, spending builds satisfaction. Comparison is another silent killer. Trying to match lifestyles you see online or in your neighborhood leads to spending based on ego, not need. Social pressure drains accounts quickly. Wealth is quiet, flash is loud. Don't confuse the two. And one of the biggest mistakes through though is waiting to start saving, waiting to pay off debt, waiting to learn about investing, waiting for a perfect financial plan. Action beats perfection every single time. Progress compounds, delay compounds too, just negatively. And here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Sometimes staying broke is tied to identity. If you subconsciously believe money is hard to keep, that rich people are unethical, or that you're just bad with money, you'll reinforce those beliefs through behavior. Identity drives habits. If you want different results, you need a different self-image. Now let's be clear, okay? Not everyone who's struggling is responsible. Systems matter, wages they matter, healthcare costs matter, and housing market matters. But within whatever situation you're in, there are still levers you can control, and focusing on controllable builds momentum. Financial progress usually isn't dramatic. It's boring. It's automating savings. It's paying down debt consistently. It's saying no more often than yes. It's reviewing your numbers monthly. It's increasing income steadily instead of sporadically. The irony is this, though: many of the habits that keep you broke feel easier in the short time. Payments feel manageable. Avoidance feels calming. Spending feels rewarding. But easy now is harder also later. Discipline now is easier later. If you feel stuck financially, start simple. Track every dollar for a month. Cut one unnecessary, reoccurring expenses. Build a small emergency fund. Pay extra towards a higher interest debt. Increase income by even just a small amount. Small shifts create, different directions, and directions they create momentum. Money doesn't fit everything, but money stress makes everything harder. Instability gives you options. Options, they give you freedom. Being broke isn't just about income. It's about habits. It's about awareness. It's about decisions repeated over time. You don't need perfection. You need consistency, because staying broke is rarely one big mistake. It's a small ones that repeat quietly until they become your normal. And the good news, though, small changes, repeated consistency, work the same way in the opposite direction. Take a chance at this video to the right with some more money making tips and savings, and we'll catch you on the next one. Let's get to saving.